Hello everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Book Time with Elvis, with me, Mark, and with me in the background, fast asleep, you can see Elvis. So he's obviously very interested in this subject. It is, of course, Wordy Wednesday, and we're continuing our story of Dr. Samuel Johnson and his remarkable effort in making an English dictionary. So let's continue, with his life story. We talked about him leaving Pembroke College, Oxford, last week without getting his degree. Basically, not much is known about what happened to Johnson between the end of 1729 through to 1731, other than he was back with his parents at the family home in Lichfield. Unfortunately, by the end of 1731 in December, Johnson's father died of some kind of illness. It probably wasn't helped by the fact that his financial situation had got worse and worse, and he had lost a lot of standing in the local community. The following year, Johnson was able to find a position teaching at a school, even though he didn't have a degree, but his renowned hot-headedness led to an argument with his employer, and shortly after he left his job and returned once again to the family home. It was around this time that he befriended Edmund Hector, who was living with a publisher known as Thomas Warren, and Thomas Warren was at that time preparing to set up the Birmingham Journal, which obviously was extremely good timing for Johnson, and he turned to Johnson for help. And because of their collaboration, this led to the publication in 1733 of Johnson's A Voyage to Abyssinia, which was a work based on earlier French texts that had been translated. All through this time, Johnson had been experiencing increasing bouts of mental anguish, physical pain, and more frequent tics and other gesticulations that people often commented on, and once again gave rise to the fact that he may well have been suffering from Tourette's syndrome. Okay, so we'll leave him there for now and move on to have a look at some of the words and phrases in his dictionary. This is the copy I'm using, this abridged version edited by David Crystal, and it contains a portion of the 40,000 or so words that Johnson defined. The first word is a word I've heard used, actually, even these days, but maybe by people with rather anachronistic turn of phrase, I suppose, and that's RASCA'LION. And this is defined as one of the lowest people. And for example, there is a text from HUDIBRAS: "That proud dame used him so like a base rascallion. That old pig, what you call him, malion, that cut his mistress out of stone, had not so hard a hearted wone." The next one is a verb, and it's to rantipole. I like this word, to rantipole. And this means to run around wildly. And according to Johnson, it is a low word. And the example he gives once more is from Arbuthnot. And he says, "The eldest was a termagant, imperious wench. She used to rantipole about the house, pinch the children, kick the servants, and torture the cats and dogs." Horrible. Anyway, the next one is a short, simple one. It is a noun, and it is SEAROVER. SEAROVER, all one word, and simply put, it is a pirate. Right, so our fourth definition for today is tenebrosity. Tenebrosity. And again, it's a nice simple one. It means darkness or gloom. And the fifth one is quite nice. I'm sure one or two of you will pick it up. It fits nicely perhaps with fantasy and quests and that kind of thing. And this is a VOWFELLOW. VOWFELLOW. And it is one bound by the same vow. So I guess if you and your friend are embarking on a quest, or maybe like the Fellowship of the Ring or something like that, they would be vowfellows. And Shakespeare, he uses as an example here: "Who are the votaries? that are thou fellows with this virtuous king. Gosh, excuse me, I seem to be I seem to be losing my voice a little bit. I'm just going to take a little sip of tea. Sorry. Oh dear, that's better, isn't it? Okay, and the last one for today is the word waggery. Waggery. And this means mischievous merriment, or roguish trick, or sarcastical gaiety. And he uses an example from Locke. "'Tis not the waggeries or cheats practised among schoolboys that make an able man, but the principles of justice, generosity, and sobriety." That's nice. I like that. Okay, so that's it for Wordy Wednesday today. We'll be back next week, of course, with another continuation of an overview of the life of Dr. Johnson, as well as a few more definitions. So thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye.